presentation, presenting LLT's new season. In his first year as president of Lakeside Little Theater, Brian Mattis has transformed LLT into a new center for performing arts, adding concerts and Metropolitan Opera performances to its live stage shows and National Theatre London presentations. LLT is tackling more ambitious shows, is working with more community organizations, is adding to its technical capabilities, and is attracting extraordinary new talent. LLT will launch its new season in October with thrilling Tony Award-winning shows, a spectacular rock opera musical, that one's going to be really interesting, and comedies, both classical and contemporary. What's next for LLT? Join us today, which you already have, to learn more about what's coming up and the important role of it in our community. And we're going to get a sneak peek at the upcoming season of performances. Please join me in welcoming Brian.
Oh, thank you, Jack. Thank you. Well, good morning and welcome. This is my first public appearance in a week. I've been fighting off pneumonia all week. And so if I have a little coughing spout every here and there, just give me a minute. I have to thank the great docs at Apollo Med for getting me healthy again. So I wasn't sure I was going to make it today, but got a good clean bill of health yesterday, so I'm back on the track. All right. There's a lot happening at Lakeside Little Theater, and I'm very grateful to have this opportunity to share it with you and tell you about it. In short, we're doing very, very well and looking forward to our new season with great excitement and also to bringing you some new offerings. But first, a little bit of perspective. Live theaters in the U.S. have been struggling with many shutting down, others cutting back, some were on hiatus. This point was weighing on my mind heavily when I became president about 16 months ago. I was not going to allow LLT to falter on my watch. It has too strong and rich a great history, and I wanted to make sure the theater not only kept going, but would actually get better and improve. So even though we were facing some serious crises of our own, we pressed on regardless. We had just reopened following the pandemic shutdown, and that left us financially weak and with expensive technical equipment that needed to be replaced. And our building, too, had many expensive repairs that have been deferred and had to be addressed. So I created a plan to bring many needed changes to LLT. That plan has many parts, but I'll provide here just the highlights. First, I wanted to diversify LLT's revenue sources. Now, it sounds strange talking about a theater about revenue, but without that, you know, we become a car wash or something. So frankly, ticket revenue just wasn't enough to pay for the many repairs the theater needed, much less to acquire equipment that would make the LLT productions even better. I also didn't want LLT to be dependent solely on 5 main stage theatrical productions. That's simply just not enough. We have a beautiful facility, and I'm sure many of you have seen. Peter Luciano, one of our board members, spent a lot of time and effort getting the building renovated and up to a level that many off-Broadway venues would love to have. I mean, it's a truly professional theater. So I worked with the amazing Steve Balfour back there to bring concerts to LLT. This is our first big venture into something totally new, and they've been a terrific success. They've brought sellout crowds for many of our shows. We actually had, for some shows, lines out in the parking lot waiting to get in. So that introduced a lot of people to LLT and brought another form of entertainment Lakeside. They provided the revenue that we desperately needed to pay for new equipment, including an enhanced lighting system that will make next season's shows sparkle as never before. If you've seen LLT's productions in the past, all of our lighting is straight down. Now what does that do to an actor? It creates dark eye sockets. When the theater was built, there are trees on the side of the auditorium to hang lights at a 45-degree angle to wipe away those shadows. But we never got around to doing that. We did now. That's going to happen this coming season. So you'll see actors brighter and sparkling like never before. And the new collaboration of LLT and LCS has led to the sharing of expensive equipment, saving both institutions large amounts of money. So it's been a great collaboration. I couldn't ask for a better collaborator than Steve Balfour. Another important point about diversification of LLT's offerings. we recently announced, in fact an email went out this morning, that we're going to provide a new home for the Metropolitan Opera Guild. They had been running their operas over at Movie Space, but something happened over there, and Movie Space no longer exists, so Metropolitan Opera Guild was left without a home. I knew Howard Willis, who ran the Opera Guild, an incredibly great guy, worked very hard to bring the opera to Lakeside. And so I approached Howard and said, look, we've got a facility, and maybe we could work together and make it happen. And after about 6 or 8 months of collaboration and working with the Auditorio Nacional in Mexico City, which provides the opera feeds, we're going to make it happen. We'll be showing all 9 of the upcoming Metropolitan Opera season, beginning on October 30, with the premiere performance of Dead Man Walking. It's really an exciting new venture for LLT, and one that will provide more entertainment for the Lakeside community while making much better use of our facilities. Season ticket sales will go on sale this coming Friday, September 15. I also wanted to make LLT a more welcoming place for the actors, directors, stagehands, technical people, and other volunteers who put so much work into each show. So I conducted a months-long listening tour, meeting with perhaps 24 on-stage and backstage volunteers. The information I received resulted in many changes in the working conditions at LLT, which is bringing back to LLT talented volunteers who helped to make our past season absolutely terrific. One actor in particular had been avoiding LLT for a while, but came back under our new operating conditions. I also created LLT's first Volunteer Appreciation Day event, which featured a huge Hawaiian luau themed party in their honor, complete with roast pigs and so forth, and included many awards for those who put in tremendous efforts on LLT's behalf. It was a huge success, and we rely on our volunteers and want to make sure we take care of them. We also held 3 open houses. These were volunteer events to acquire new volunteers, and through which we did acquire many new volunteers, from ticket scanners to lighting board technicians and audio engineers. And these are hidden people. You don't see them during a show, but they are so vital to making our shows happen. And given that we're doing more, we need more. We can always use a few more, so please let me know if you're interested. We have some volunteer brochures here, and Peter Luciano is here, head of our volunteer acquisition and development. Now, the Lakeside community, for all of its wonderful qualities, is also one of, let's say, unfriendly gossip and complaints. I've been accused of making LLT less of a community theater, turning LLT into a venue space, or, good heavens, a movie theater. I find such criticism both naive and hilarious. Let me explain. Under LLT's prior administration, yes, it became less of a community theater. It shrank from providing 6 main stage shows to only 5. That was the season I was handed. I don't like having only 5 main stage plays, and would not have my administration accept only a 5-play season. So in the past year, we strengthened LLT enough that I have directed LLT's artistic director to bring LLT back up to 6 shows for season 60, which will open next season. He's agreed, and they're already working on it. They're already soliciting plays, so you'll see LLT as more of a community theater next year. So if anything, I'm making it more of a community theater. And on that point, we've added community theater training programs, classes in acting of various types. We've done technical training on stage management and lighting and sound. So we were trying to build the strength of the community and make us more of a community theater by bringing more people in to perform more of the activities needed to make the theater run. Now, as for concerts and the opera, how is adding 2 great new offerings to the Lakeside community, which the Lakeside community wants and needs, in any way harmful to LLT being a community theater? It's just an addition. We haven't diluted anything. If anything, it strengthens LLT and brings it closer together with the Lakeside community. Now, speaking of which, I started a program this year of LLT giving back to the community, thanks to the success of our concerts and our plays last season. We recently delivered a fantastic show, Broadway for the Boys, which benefited Mama Cleo's Boys Home. We provided space for the Festival del Lago to deliver a wonderful student chamber music performance, with the proceeds going to provide scholarships for future music students. Now, as you can probably tell, I'm enormously interested in theater. And I was thrilled to appear in a major role on LLT stage in a past season. Now, while I would have enjoyed appearing back on stage again, I vowed that as president, I would not do so. I don't believe it's the president's place to put the president on stage. And frankly, it's just too demanding of a job to learn the lines, blocking, and months of rehearsals while trying to run the place. So I imposed a discipline that I would focus on making my time and talent useful in making LLT better for other actors in the future. Otherwise, I'd be on stage, but I think we're moving ahead and making LLT better. In only 40 days, we'll open a very exciting and a very ambitious season 59. Yes, I'll make a pitch for buying tickets in a moment, but hang on, let me tell you about it first, and then you'll want to buy tickets. I will have to sell them. First up is a play that won 6 Tony Awards, the most of any play in 2010, simply titled Red. I saw this play in 2011 in Washington, D.C., was so blown away by it that when we were looking at shows for this coming season, I thought, let's see if we can mount this. Very difficult play to put on, but a very rewarding and rich play. In fact, I'm actually so excited we're doing them on underwriting production. Critics called it an enthralling new play about art, an artist, and the act of creation. It features artist Mark Rothko. Anybody know Mark Rothko? One of the greatest interpretive, impressionist American painters ever. His works have recently been selling for tens of millions of dollars. It's about him as an artist at the height of his career, when he was at the pinnacle of his creativity and struggling, though, with a lucrative contract he had gotten to create art for the Four Seasons restaurant in New York. As he and his young assistant paint, and they will do so on our stage, they challenge each other to ask big questions about art, what it takes to create it, what role it should have in the world. The play is based on a series of real events, and it takes a compelling look at ever-changing relationships between an artist and his creations. It's a play not to be missed. We have a fantastic cast, a great director, and I've already apologized to our set people, because after every show each night, they're going to have to repaint the set. It's that kind of a production. But to her credit, the head of our construction team knows the play and said, for that play, I will happily come out every morning and repaint the stage so you can do it again. So it's a play not to be missed. Some people may misunderstand it, but it's a gripping, fascinating play. Next up is The Little Dog Laughed. It's a hilarious comedy about a handsome Hollywood star on his way to the A-list. If only he can keep his recurring case of homosexuality under wraps. He falls for a young call boy, which sends his fast-talking Hollywood agent into overdrive to keep everything under wraps. Meanwhile, the call boy is trying to figure out what he wants, the Hollywood star or his best friend and lover, Ellen. He's torn between his desires for glitter and money and his longing for true love, with all the requisite complications. It's a biting, timely comedy that takes aim at the entertainment industry, sex and sexuality, and the way happy endings should look. This play is going to star a Mexican actor from Tijuana, so we're very happy about that too. It's being directed by Randy Warren. It's going to be a barrel of laughs. In January, we're going to present the great musical Jesus Christ Superstar as you've never seen it before. It's going to feature some of the best live music and staging ever done at LLT. It's already in rehearsals and under the direction of LLT's best music director, artistic directors, and choreographer. And it's going to feature some of Lakeside's best actors and singers. It's going to have an amazing set, amazing sound. We're going to take this thing up to the rafters and beyond, so it's going to be a fun show. In March, we're going to present Arthur Miller's The Price, which will be directed by Peter and Moni King. The Price appeared on Broadway in 1968 and was nominated for 2 Tony Awards and has since been revived 4 times on Broadway. That's due to the play's eternal messages about family dynamics, the price of furniture, and the price of one's decisions. Fascinating play. Our season will conclude in April with one of the best and oldest comedies in theater history, the Tartuffe. Now, Tartuffe, when it first came out, was so controversial it was banned for a couple of decades. But it survived and it delights audiences all around the world. It's in constant production. First performed nearly 360 years ago. It's considered to be French playwright Moliere's masterpiece. It's a searing and hilarious study in how we collaborate in our own deception, and it's full of quick and surprising plot twists and turns. It has a terrific director who's working on assembling the cast now. That's going to be a fun show. It's a wonderful and a very highly ambitious season. We were tackling Tony Award-winning shows that had very high demands on their actors and set designers. And fortunately, we have the A-team working on it this year. I'm very, very proud of that this season. It's just an extraordinary season. Ticket sales are already going very well. In fact, we've already surpassed last season's ticket sales. So that's a good sign. It's very encouraging for all of us at LLT, including all of the cast and the technical team. Tickets are available for online purchase at LakesideLittleTheater.com or by visiting the box office between 10 a.m. and noon on Wednesday and Thursday during opening week and during the run week of a show. Season tickets are 1,600 pesos. Individual tickets are 350, except for the musical, which has higher rights costs and other costs, so they're 450. I can make a couple of little pitches here. One, we do need more volunteers in lots of capacities, from checking people in with our little ticket scanning device to helping with the bar office, helping with getting the house ready for a show and so forth, all the way up to highly technical abilities of running the lights and sound. We have professionally grade equipment, people to train on it. If you have an interest, let us know, and we'd be happy to connect you and get you involved in making the magic happen at LLT. Another pitch, for The Little Dog Laughed, we're trying something different. Because the show features 2 younger actors, we've had to go sort of outside our community here to find these actors, and we found them. Now we have to house them. So if anyone has a casita, particularly near the theater, let me know. And they'll be here from mid-October till mid-December, but we can break it up into 2-week slices if that's easier to provide housing for these 2 actors. They're wonderful people, very, very talented and very engaging, and it'd be kind of fun to mix it up with them while they're rehearsing for a show and then being in a show. So if you have space, please let us know, because we are looking for housing. And then, let's see. And then don't forget to look at the upcoming opera season. It's an extraordinary season with some premiere shows, some familiar shows, and we are investing heavily at LLT to bring them to you. We've committed to spending about $15,000 US for the new equipment we need to make it happen, and happy to do so. But the shows will need support in ticket purchases or in underwriting if you're so inclined to support them that way. And it's an exciting new venture because it'll bring new entertainment Lakeside, and the opera has delighted audiences in the past. Typically 200 people or more per show. We've spent a lot of time in the past 6 months negotiating to bring it, and it's going to happen. It's all being lined up right now, so that will start right after our first show ends, and that'll be October 30. So tickets will be on sale again beginning on Friday. Season ticket sales for LLT are already on sale. So with that, I want to thank you for your attention, and I'd be happy to take any questions you may have.
Okay, we've got questions. Great, I've got a mic. Please use the mic.
The tickets for the opera, are they going through the regular sources of tickets for LLT?
Yeah, they're available online on the LLT's website. So you can buy them
The
online.
box office or no?
Pardon me?
The box office?
And the box office too. Yeah.
What's the difference between the membership and season tickets? Is there a difference?
Slight difference. Membership would give you voting rights at the annual general membership meeting, which is held in March. So that has to do with any major expense that the theater may need to commit to. And under our bylaws, any expense of more than $10,000 US has to be approved by the membership. And so the membership then votes. Membership can also vote on the slate of candidates for various offices. President, first vice president, second vice president. So it gives you the voting rights. Season ticket gives you the right to secure a particular seat for each show that season, so that you always know where your seat's going to be. You get to pick it and have that seat as yours for all the shows.
What's the difference in price? Is there a difference in price?
Yeah, a membership is 100 pesos.
That's all?
That's all. Yeah, it used to be included in, but we separated it out this year. But yeah, it's just 100 pesos.
Any other questions? Yes? Please use the, wait, use the mic.
I do have technical experience working with electrical systems. I might want to volunteer at dealing with their equipment.
Thank you. Yes. See, yes, we'll sign you up. We have when you see all the electrical gear involved in running a theater, it's pretty impressive what's underneath the stage. There's a huge amount of electrical equipment to make the lights work, and as I mentioned, we're adding on some significant new lighting, which will make the shows even better. So yeah, we need people with electrical ability to keep us going. Plus the wiring, every now and then weird things happen, and we need an electrician to get us back going again. We had a situation last year where right before a show was supposed to start, our swamp cooling system had a little short, and we couldn't get the theater as cool as needed. But fortunately, there was an individual in the audience who knew about it and went up on the roof and did something and cooled us all down. So yeah, we need people like that to make the theater work. I mean, that's true community theater, drawing from the community to make it happen. So yes, we'd love to have your talent and time. Thank you.
I think everyone can hear me.
No.
What? Okay. You forgot to mention that we also need carpenters.
Oh my God, yes. Thank you.
Specifically, a carpenter take-charge type of guy to help us build sets. We did it with only 2 people this particular show, and we'd like more. Thank you.
Oh, Jeff, thank you so much for that. Yes, Jeff's one of our terrific carpenters who helped build the set for 33 Variations. How many saw that show last season? 33. I mean, I personally thought it was one of those amazing things I've seen on stage. And I watched Jeff build part of that set, and as I'm struggling to how to make certain things of the set work, and they did. It took a lot of trial and error, but they made that complicated set work. So yes, we need creative, clever craftsmen, carpenters, painters to make the magic. Without them, there's no show. And we go through a lot with the sets. And this coming season, some of the sets are going to be quite complicated. The one for Red's going to be very, very complicated because we are going to have an enormous canvas come down on stage and have the actors painting on this huge canvas. And there's going to be some special lighting, like you're in the artist's loft in New York. And then the price is going to be in an attic. So we have to create this special attic environment. Superstar is going to have, from what I'm hearing, a multi-level set with all kinds of complicated pieces to it. Jeff's talents will be put to great use and challenged in new ways to make that set work. So we're trying to make the sets more interesting. There's been a trend in some theater to go minimalist, and we did that too in past seasons. But there's something to be said that when you walk into a theater and there is a spectacular set in front of you, and that takes your breath away. And this season's going to do that in several of the shows. because we have top-notch set designers and retired pros who know what they're doing, and they've given us sketches for sets that are just incredible. So get your hammer ready, Jeff. You're going to be busy. And please help Jeff, because there's a lot of building to be going on, and under the direction of a terrific team.
I just have a comment and a statement of gratitude. When we first moved to Ajijic, we were so excited to be able to go to the movies at Lakeside. And then when that fell apart, I really appreciate how Lakeside Little Theater just took up the gauntlet and moved forward to ensure that we have opera in our community. Thank you for doing that.
Oh, thank you for that. It's been so much work. I mean, a tremendous amount of work. I don't know, if I knew back then what I know now about getting involved and bringing it, I don't know if I had the strength to do it. But we press on regardless, and it's been difficult to bring the opera to us. We had to figure out all the technical aspects of it. As Peter had mentioned, we used to have a screen that took 4 guys an hour to build, and the end another hour to take it back down again. But we couldn't do that if we're trying to run 9 operas, some of which are going to run 2 or 3 days, and putting this thing up, taking it down, and having a stage available for rehearsals and so forth. So the answer came to me like, we're going to have to put in an electric drop-down screen. And trying to buy one of those things here in Mexico was not easy. And there's only one vendor in Mexico City, and we're still waiting on them to deliver it, but yeah, it's on its way. So we had to figure that complication out. And then it was a matter of that, oh, well, that screen's bigger, so we have to change out our projector. And so now we had to buy a very expensive laser HD, ultra high quality projector. I had to find where to buy one of those in Mexico. That's on its way. So there are a lot of steps leading up to the ability to actually do this. When you come into the theater on October 30th, it'll look so easy. But there's been a tremendous amount of work in bringing this together. And dealing with the rights provider here in Mexico, the Auditorio Nacional in Mexico City, has been a backbreaking effort. It's been very, very difficult to negotiate the terms of the agreement. Initially, it would not have been financially viable for us to do it. We had to keep a lot of give and take to make it happen, and then figure out the technical abilities, how to actually get the show to us. And either it comes to us on some Blu-ray, DVDs, or whatever, or we may do a new electronic file transfer. So there's been a lot of behind-the-scenes effort to make this happen. I had to persuade the LLT board that this was in our best interest, and tremendous support from Peter, thank you, but I can't say I had 100% support.
Howard Willis.
And Howard Willis, oh, what a hero. So if any of you are members of the Chipotle Opera Guild, you know Howard, and how he worked tirelessly for years to make the Chipotle Opera Guild happen. Happened to be a huge champion of Howard, one of the nicest men you'll ever work with, and truly dedicated to the opera. And so we're finding a spot for Howard if he wants it on the LLT board. I want to keep access to his tremendous time, talent, and drive, and he's working on coming on our board in some manner. But Howard helped to lead the charge with LLT right behind him to make this thing happen. But it's taken months of negotiations and efforts back and forth. But I'm very proud of it. I'm going to look back on this a year from now saying, what a brilliant move. Wasn't that great we did that? We're bringing more audiences into the theater, and we can generate additional revenue from that, which will then enable us to buy other equipment to make the main stage shows better. It's sort of a wonderful flywheel cycle will get going once this thing gets started. It'll introduce more people to what we have at LLT, to our wonderful facility, and then they'll become interested in our main stage shows, and vice versa. Those who come for the opera will come and say, wow, look at these great main stage shows. So it'll benefit both sides of the house, and strengthen LLT in ways that we need, and that will keep LLT strong, even as theaters in the U.S. are having a very, very tough go of it. Happy to say we're in stronger financial shape than we were a year ago, and getting stronger. And it's all because of looking forward and saying, what else can we do with this wonderful facility? And bringing in the opera, I think is one of the greatest coups we're going to have in many, many years. and I look forward to that being a huge success. It's coming to us with a huge built-in audience already, and there's a lot of excitement in the community about it, which I'm thrilled by. But it was a vision I had that let's just do more with what we have, and this was a great opportunity to seize on, even though wrestling the animal to the ground was not easy, but well, we've got it now contained, and I'm looking forward to great excitement at the end of October when we launch it. And then I'm looking for other activities. We're now so full up with the way that we have scheduled all of our main stage shows, and now trying to put 6 into season 60, that what may suffer is we may not be able to do quite as many concerts as we've done in the past. But we're going to find a way, particularly as our season comes to an end. We'll find a way of doing a lot of summer programming, which is consistent with the rainy season. So we'll have a great venue to run concerts next summer. And we filled up the 122-seat theater multiple times with the concerts. Steve brings us outstanding talent, and we've got a great venue, great sound system, great video system there. So it's a great venue house for running concerts. So I don't see anything wrong in expanding what we're offering at LLT. We're going to keep making our main stage shows the primary focus of LLT. That will always be the heart of LLT. But let's add to it these ancillary offerings to provide more entertainment lakeside and high quality entertainment. We've got the space for it. There is a tremendous audience here, lakeside, that loves live theater and live productions. So let's deliver it. Why not? I mean, I look at it as our obligation. We've got this wonderful facility that's funded by the community with their contributions. Well, let's give something back. And I hear from the board a lot, like, oh, we're trying to do too much. And I said, well, let's get more people then and do more. Obviously, the community wants it, so let's deliver it to them. I've been sort of a hard-charging president that way, and it's driven some people a little crazy on the board, but that's my vision. Let's just do more and give more. Yeah, it's a little extra work, but boy, seeing happy audiences in a full house, I got to tell you, there's no better feeling. I mean, I go through as the concert's filling up, like, wow, we did this, and people leave happy and cheering. And they'll stop Steve or me in a store later that week going, thank you, thank you. That's what it's all about for me. That's what it's all about. And so all the tough hours trying to make it all happen, you get a wonderful thank you for that. And that makes it all worthwhile. And you forget about all the tough nights alone in the office trying to figure things out to make them happen. But the thank you from the audience is what it's all about. And I'm very, very grateful to our wonderful audiences and their tremendous support for what we're doing. A little long-winded. Any other questions?
I think that's it. Oh, way in the back. Okay. Wait, I'm going to go way into the back.
I just have a little question. Hello, my name is Albert. I'm a local of this town. Actually, I want to get a good question for you. Okay, I'm like a actor. Sure, and I'm a singer too. And I'm very interested in your project because all of the other projects on the phone like are just projects photos of the handy and all that. I'm getting escaping of that. This life is getting very, very, very exhausting, and I'm just trying to be good. And now when I'm sitting here and you were telling me about this, and I'm thinking, oh wow, this man is very, very, very intelligent and brilliant. And I appreciate that part of you. Oh, come on, man. I'm just a little kind of, I want to get the funny. I'm just looking at a little, fun and get money for get a big fucking refrigerator with big food for my mama.
Well, I like that you think that he's brilliant, and that you want to move forward in your life. That sounds like a good idea. I think that's, oh wait.
Is there one question over here?
One more question?
Yeah.
Just a second.
You said that you're offering classes for people who have no talent, that would like to volunteer and don't have any special skills. Are you creating any classes for them that could help you get more volunteers?
We've held classes in all aspects of the theater, from beginning Acting 101. In fact, just here a minute ago, Graham Miller, there he is, Graham, ran a class on a basic introduction to acting, and I hope we can get you to do it again, Graham. Graham's terrific. He was my acting coach at the outset, and you couldn't ask for a better teacher. Yeah, so we start there from, okay, this is a stage, this is upstage, this is stage, downstage, this is stage right. We start from there. So if you've never been on stage before, we can get you oriented so you know which way you're looking and where you're going, all the way up to character development. We're running a class coming up soon on scene development. We've had classes in classical acting. So we're offering a wide range from this is the very beginning to this is how you bring more emotion into a role or how you develop a character a different way. Improv, interaction, Meissner technique. I mean, all these various techniques in acting we can teach. And we've been running a lot of courses in the past year for that. All the way over to, folks, this is a lighting board. And here's how you make these lights work. Or here's the audio gear. Here's how we make the sound so good at LLT. And we have a fantastic former Hollywood sound man who's our sound guy, and can ask for a better guy to learn from. And then he's taught classes in how to handle sound and edit sound, and even handle video editing. So we have from acting skills, technical skills. We held a fantastic course on stage management run by Wood McIntosh, who's one of the best stage managers I've ever seen. And well, she knows how to run the backstage like nobody. And she's taught outstanding classes. She comes prepared. You get a little plastic pouch with little #2 pencils, because you use #2 pencils a lot in theater because things change. So you'll write something and then the director goes, nope, okay, erase that, change it. So right down to all the basics of what you need to handle a script backstage to make the stage management work. To make sure that you have the actors in the right place at the right time for the next scene. And it sounds easy, but it's really not. When you see what goes on backstage, boy, sometime I'd like to do a video just showing what goes on backstage. It's an amazing precision drill team back there, making sure everything's happening. So what happens on stage looks like it's just happening, but it doesn't. I mean, it requires a tough stage manager to get everybody in place and to make sure that everybody's on cue and that the lights are right and so forth. So we've taught stage management, and people come out of that class cheering and applauding. They love it. So any aspect of the theater, things like prop management. Backstage, there is somebody who's got this enormous table with everything lined up for each scene, and they even have a little outline of what that item is, so they know it gets put back there at the end of the show, so they can see right away all the props are lined up. So we need prop managers to make sure that the actors have the props when they go out on stage. You don't want somebody coming out to do a sword scene and no sword. I mean, so you have to make sure that the actor has what they need. And so prop managers are critical. So there's a lot of roles in the theater that we need to have filled, and we're happy to have new volunteers learn and make these things happen. And frankly, it's a lot of fun backstage when a show's going on. Having been in a show and running shows, yeah, I like seeing the show from the audience side, but sometimes I just wander back because I just like to see this orchestration that's going on, this ballet backstage to make it all happen. So we're always looking for people to be part of that team and part of that fun. There's a lot of camaraderie among the volunteer corps at LLT. They love being part of it and making things happen, and that's why they show up every night to make the shows happen. We have a 9-night run on most shows, 11 for the musicals, and they're there every night, and they're not getting paid. To me, it's just amazing. People are working hard and not getting paid and having a fun time. That's what community theater is all about, and we rely on people like you to step forward and help us and learn. And we have a lot of gifted, knowledgeable people who are very happy to teach. So it's a great learning environment as well as a fun environment. Well, thank you for the question. Thank you.